Hello everybody, what is going on? My name is Sir Medieval and welcome back to Ascent Infinite Realm. This is the first day, technically the first, I guess day and a half of the game right now. I haven't been to bed yet since I started last night, but I was in the middle of a work day as well while playing the game. This game has actually had a lot of server stability issues this morning. It was crashing like hardcore and oh god. I mean, we've been through about 10 or 12 of these so far. The server just coming up and down and up and down. But it's day one launch day issues. It's to be expected, honestly. But it does, you know, still suck, of course. But so far, in terms of this game, if you don't know what it is yet, it's a... how do I describe this? It's like a steampunk-themed MMORPG. It's basically a mixture between, like, Archeage, Terra, Guild Wars 2 maybe, or some people can compare it to Bless, for instance, all mixed into one. In terms of the server stability, when it does work, it is good. We're using exit lag as the VPN, so exit lag works pretty well most of the time with these kinds of games. I think that there was just a lot of strain on the server. They probably weren't prepared for how many people were joining the game, so that probably hindered them a little bit. In terms of the combat system, it is tap target as you can see, but there is stance switching that is incorporated, just like in Bless and of course Guild Wars 2 as well. And other games like that too. I'd say that in terms of the mechanics themselves, it's pretty comparable to like Terra, for instance, in some cases. Someone asked me about the boob physics earlier. No, it does not have the boob physics of Terra, if anybody's wondering. But the game itself does have some cool features. They got things like mass PvP in terms of the open world, aerial combat alongside ground-based combat. I'm going to show you a little bit of that in a second here, and crap. But there's also monsters that like float in the sky. You can fly up to them and fight them. You can actually fly, or you can fight on top of your mount like this. For instance, if I wanted to use skills and whatnot, I could fight like that. Or, of course, you can fly up in the air. You can fly anywhere as well, which is really cool. And there's airships as well that you can actually take control of. And like I said, there's monsters that fly in the sky. There's a lot more than just what we're seeing here. Oh yeah, there we go. There's actual mob packs and even world bosses in some cases in the sky. And you can use all your skills just like normal. High in the sky. In terms of the aerial combat, I feel like it's probably the more clunky kind of combat, but that's mainly because when you're flying on a mountain trying to do it, some of the skills just look a little clunky. But when you're on the ground, it does feel more fluid. I do like the ground combat quite a bit. In terms of the other classes, from what I've heard, they seem to be playing really well. I've only played the Elementalist and the Thailand version so far, but it does feel pretty good. And it seems like the melee classes do have a much better time and have a more fluid time in combat than the mages do, so I'd say that they're probably doing just fine. You do get access to multiple mounts as well, ground mounts that you can use as well too. If I had any space, I could show you the skyboard, or this, yeah, whatever it's called. Hold on a second, let me see where I'm going here. The game is running on Unreal 3. There is some issues with the games in terms of UI lag. It's not as bad as ones we've seen in the past, but of course, one of the major things that would happen with Unreal 3 games is when you actually open up the UI, things like this might happen, where it does start lagging the UI. So that's definitely a thing right there. But anyway, aside from that, FPS-wise, it seems to run pretty well. Earlier, it was probably around like 40, 45 plus FPS. Right now, it feels like at least 60 plus. Definitely feels more stable than it was last night, that's for sure. But they've been working pretty much like all night long. I'm guessing they probably went to bed because it's like 5 a.m. in Thailand right now for the developers. Could only imagine what that'd be like, seriously. I do like the gliding system they have in the game too, it's pretty sick. They've got gliders, jetpacks, airships, freaking mechs that you can actually ride around in. I do have 2 of them on me too that I can use, but they're limited time. There's also the Warhawk, which looks pretty sweet. I don't know when I'll ever want to use this, honestly, but it looks like it does really, really good in terms of maneuverability and the speed. I'm going to be so tempted to use that. You can actually buy houses in the open world as well, which is really cool. Ones like this especially, they do have more housing space. They're really cool houses. This is one that I got, the mansion. I'm going to put furniture in it later and start decorating it up. You can change so much about it, like the actual wallpaper. You can change the tiles of the floor or the coloring of the floor. You can change the outskirts of it. You can put down gathering nodes and crafting nodes. You can change up the workshops, get NPCs over here. It's actually a really in-depth system with the housing. I'm pretty surprised at how well they did with this one. Got to take out some of these mobs. It looks so weird having a firewall inside of the, like, just in the air. Okay, hey buddy. Still getting used to the air combat. It's kind of weird just actually being able to cast all your skills like this, but it's cool at the same time though. I'm not knocking it for sure. Guys are pretty powerful. Holy crap. All right. But so far, in terms of the storyline for the game, in terms of the cinematics and cutscenes, things like that, it does look pretty impressive. I've actually been very interested in the lore for this game. They have a pretty cool lore for the story. In terms of the factions, which it's heavily tied to, Vulpin and Antari once actually joined together to form what's called the Solemn Empire. And the Solemn Empire, essentially what happened was when they joined together, they sought immortality. And what happened was a corruption spawned because of that. Like in the pursuit of the immortality, something went very, very wrong, and these things called the Black Herald started becoming very prevalent as a result. So essentially what we see a lot in this game in terms of the Black Heralds, that's basically what I got elimination to do. If I can just get to that thing without triggering the other one. But that's basically what happened there. And then eventually the two factions split off from the Solemn Empire and went back to being independent on both sides. And they decided that they just didn't want to ever do that again. But it's not clear on, what exactly is going on in the storyline right now, because all of it's in, Thai for the language. But when we do get an English version, I think I'd be very interested to see how this does turn out and see which characters are actually a part of the Solemn Empire and which ones are not. Because so far they've got a really good baseline with the story. In terms of other features as well, because you might be asking, like, what about PvP and things like that? There is going to be arena PvP. That one is going to be a thing for sure. There is solo dungeons. There is 3-man dungeons and 5-man dungeons. It's kind of an odd combination, but the 3-man dungeons are basically like the 5-man dungeons in other games. And the 5-man are like the harder ones that would probably be like the raids, is what it feels like. But we have yet to try the 5-man, but one of them is called the Black Herald Armory to kind of give some insight as to what to expect in there. But there's also ones that you can do unlimited amounts in a day, because most of the dungeons you actually can only do a certain amount of times per day. And in terms of the pets, there are pets that can actually fight alongside you too. You can raise what's called monsters to fight with you in combat. Come on, there we go. 2 more. So close yet so far. I wonder if I still get like any experience at all for that. Probably not. Oh well, it was close. Looks like I can retry it if I want, but I don't know. Is the ethereal thing still up? I got a lot of these. I got like 10 of those. Wow. But yeah, it looks like it's on a minute cooldown, so I'm gonna avoid that for right now. I completed the quest anyway. Later. All right, let's see what we got to do here. There's also these hunting grounds you can go to if you just want to grind for XP, and you can actually grind for gear, certain rewards like that too. There's also world quests that you can sign up to do. In fact, we can queue for one right now because they've got a really cool system for that. You can basically just start it whenever you want. And apparently this is the battlefield one. Probably don't have enough time for that one just yet. They said the battlefield wasn't active right now, so I don't know if that's actually a thing at the moment. We'll have to try that out later for sure though. But this one we can queue up for, and then it actually forms up a party for us to fight with. And you'll be able to see how the world quest works. And then after that, I'll show you the housing system. There's also random events that do pop up in the world that you can go to and take out a certain amount of mobs, and then get a reward that way too. Very similar to like rifts you'd see in Rift or Defiance, or dynamic events in Guild Wars 2, for instance. All right. Don't let them get close. They get close, you're going down. And then of course, as you can see, yes, you do have access to pets that can pick stuff up for you. They definitely took a page out of BDO with this one. The game itself, monetization wise, is going to be free to play. In this region, at least, is what they're going for, free to play. They seem like they want to go free to play in all regions. At the moment, it seems like they might be able to. I can show you the cash shop and explain what's in there in a second here. But, I mean, if they keep the cash shop the way it is, then I think it should be okay. The only thing that really we had a cause for concern with, I don't have any mana, that'd be why, was the life skill potions, like in Archeage, which I guess wasn't the worst part about it for Archeage, but they ended up going so much farther with putting things like Thunderstruck Trees in the cash shop. But they do have the same thing going on here. They have them called life vitality potions or something like that. We'll see them in a second here, but they definitely took a page out of like VDO and Archeage with some of the stuff that they put in the game. Hell out of here, buddy. All right. So right now we're just waiting on them to join up for that world quest. I really want to do it right now, actually, but we just recently recovered from a server crash, so I don't know if a lot of people are going to be wanting to queue up for it right now. They might be wanting to wait for using one of their tokens. After this guy, I'm going to open up the cash shop as well. All right. So in terms of the cash shop, what you can see in here, oh, there's also wandering mob packs, which is really cool. I've seen those happening too. So we've got the basic stuff, the appearance changing voucher, which you can change your appearance an unlimited amount of times per day. Well, in a day. You've got the inventory expansion, which is pretty high up there in terms of the cost. That's just by one slot as well, but that's 10 of them. You've also got the Star Blessing package, which basically what this is like the premium service for a premium account. However, it's actually surprisingly balanced. What I've seen in the translated version is you get things like 5% increased XP. You get about 3% or so increased money and drop rates and things like that. It's actually really low compared to what I was expecting. Most games will go for like at least 20%, 30%, but they did pretty good on that one. I'm kind of surprised, actually. Then also on this tab, you have the appearance voucher, the character slot expansion, because you start out with 3 maximum, megaphones, personal traveling storage manager, reconstruction tickets. And this is mainly for a different kind of thing. Oh yeah, this is for the realm reconstruction, and basically what that is like a daily, it's like a map daily basically. It's like where you can contribute to you can do quests to contribute to your faction. So that's basically something that you can get some extra rewards for, a little bit amount of XP and things like that. But that's what that is. The vitality recovery potions is what I was talking about. This is basically the life skill potions like you'd see in Archeage. This is the one that people probably had the most cause for concern about, but as long as it remains to this extent, I think we should still be okay, honestly, just as long as it, remains tamed. And then automation slot tickets, which this is related to the pet system where you can actually raise your own monster that fights with you, which is really cool. And then of course you got the experience restoration scroll, because you can lose experience on death. The rest of the stuff is pretty much utility stuff, engineering descriptions. That one's related to crafting a little bit, I believe. Enchantment extractor. That one, enhancement extractor. And that one should be for related to like stripping the upgrades off of an item. That one's more just, utility, cosmetic kind of thing. I don't know what that's telling me right there. The gear repair, if you don't want to go all the way back to town to repair it, which it's cheap to do at a blacksmith. It's like 200 gold every time I go, which is easy to get, like 2 mob kills really. Master horns, which is of course the world chat. Rune slot identifiers, so for those that would be something you could use on your gear as well to find out like what runes would be best for it. And then in terms of the airship, that stuff really isn't in yet, but the airship system's kind of cool. I'll explain that in a second here. So you can buy pets here as well, but we'll be able to start with at least one when you log into this server. I don't know if they're going to do that in the real game too, but yeah, you can buy these pets here too. And these ones will be bound to you. They can pick stuff up, but of course you can pick stuff up as well yourself. I have seen cases where people were walking over loot and just picking it up that way, but I don't know if it's really a thing or not. This is for the housing system, so this is like 100% off the tax, basically like the rent that you would pay. Like a one-time thing if you're in an oh snap moment and you don't have enough gold to pay that day. This is for your special up, so you can upgrade your house. You can spend money and whatnot to upgrade your house as well, but this is a little bit of a quicker way. This is also an upgrade for the workshop as well. Again, a quicker way as well. Storage expansion. This is where you can actually get a chest inside of your house, and you can store stuff in there that way as well. So compared to what could have happened in the cash shop, I'd say that it definitely does seem like it's pretty tame so far. What level are you at? Oh, it's Biscuit. Hey there. Hold on. getting there. Trying to get to 33 before I have to go. All right. Now, in terms of the actual airship system itself, it's pretty cool in the fact that you can build your airship like from scratch. You can also craft, so you can craft it. You can buy the recipes and stuff like that, the materials for it from other people in that auction house. And then on top of that, the components for the actual airship can be bought and crafted as well. I'm wondering if there's actually going to be a way we can get those in dungeons too. Kind of hoping there is, so that we have another way to get that stuff going and another incentive for it too. Would be pretty sweet to say the least. But that's for the most part the gist of it. There's still a lot to learn about the game, but I think we pretty much got most of it down packed. Once you get to endgame, it's essentially all the way up to endgame. It's just questing your butt off. Once you get past 30 and you get into your actual faction zone, it turns into this wide open-ended thing where basically you can start doing, it's a pretty decent sized map actually, but you can start doing what's called the region quests. So these regions each will have their own specific quest lines that they make you hunt mobs in that specific area. They'll make you gather stuff in that specific area, and there's boss mobs in that specific area. And then you can get extra rewards by doing all of them, or you can do enough of them just to unlock the next region and keep going to get XP faster. Either way works just fine, and you can get XP in quite a few different ways, like the dungeons we were talking about, which I really want to try when I get back home tonight as well. But yeah, there's a couple different ways to get that stuff done. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the house in a second here. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna see if I can get over to a teleportation stone really quick, and then we'll go from there. Also, there is something to gather over here. Let me grab that too. Gathering system's a little weird, but if you hit that right in that tick there, then you'll be able to gather it much faster, and you might get bonus rewards. Is what it looks like you do. It looks like it's what happens. Like you get bonus rewards from that. But I don't know for sure though. I don't know. I have to keep an eye out on that and see if there's any difference when I'm not actually hitting it inside that mark. Okay, this should be a good spot. Hold on, before we go to the house, I ran into this quest really quick that I should be doing here. This is another one of those execution quests, but this time it's on the ground, and I do have another one of those ethereal beings with me. This time it's a warlord. Finish him off, man. Oh, I thought he was dead already. That's why I kind of turned to the left or to the right a little bit. Go for the small ones first. Oh, I shouldn't have attacked that one. He's going to be a little harder to kill right now. I'm at 9 of them. I think I can do this. They focused. Personally think it's a little harder for me to take these things out as an elementalist as opposed to like an assassin, for instance. They would specialize in this like crazy, and gunslingers too. Come on, come on, come on. Give me a crit. Nice. See? Decent amount of XP, metal engineering material, and a rare hunter's reward as well. Oh, very nice. If I had any room for that, that'd be fantastic right now. But this is why we need the inventory expansions too. My god. But there is a lot to do in the game. There definitely is a lot to do. I wish the pet had inventory. I would just use his like all the time. Oh, pet slot unlock ticket? No, I don't need that. Thank you very much. See, when I do raise a monster, though, I think they're the ones that might have the actual inventory space, but I don't know for sure, though, on that one. We're going to have to see. But this is the dungeon coming up, but we definitely don't have enough time to do that one, per se. Oh, dear God. Looks like I got a boss fight as well here. Yeah, you want to go? He wants to go. Ooh. That was close. Got him. And anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. There's going to be more for this game to come and find out. Hopefully the servers keep working right as they are right now. I don't know how we got so lucky, but they're finally okay now for the moment. We'll see what happens though, for sure. And you guys have a wonderful night or day. I'll see you next time. And later, folks. Gotta go watch a movie.